also wanted to take this opportunity to apologize to Myra because I cut her off earlier than I needed to have. So perhaps with our first question, we'll go to Myra and give her the opportunity to talk and finish that part. And then we will move to the rest of the Q&A. Myra, I'll give you the floor again, and apologies.
No worries, Sam. Thank you so much. Just to expand a little bit further, with this edition of the Solutions Report, this will be the 4th edition, and we have a wide number of innovations that have pivoted from COVID-19 and with COVID-19. So I really encourage everyone to take a look at the report, share it, and learn from it. We have really interesting content from our partners, from alumni that have been featured in the Solutions Report in the past and that have now gone and expanded their solutions. For example, we have a chapter on sustainable ocean solutions, and that is authored by Daniela Fernandez, who is the CEO of the Sustainable Ocean Alliance, and she was featured in the 2017 Solutions Report. Her organization has gone up and grown significantly, and we couldn't be prouder of her work and really happy to have been among the first ones featuring her. We also look to expand our work with past innovators and to continue looking for opportunities for new innovators as well. So don't be afraid to join the Solutions Hub. If I could add something else, there is really a wide community of people eager to help, eager to partner. I know that there are some innovators that already want to connect among each other, so I would really encourage everyone to do so. And please, I hope you have a really enjoyable read of the Solutions Report.
Thank you so much, Myra, and congratulations again. We truly have come a long way since the first edition in 2015, and the report has been such an instrumental role in highlighting the incredible work the young people are doing around the world, and to really put that in front of the policymakers in the world and to show, look, there is plenty of innovation out there in the world, but they need support. They need the tools, they need the networks and the finances. If you give them that, they will surprise you. And I think the Solutions Report really is a testament to this incredible efforts that young innovators around the world are doing, and to highlight those. And hopefully through that to create a system where this can be done more effectively and at scale. So I think it's just been an incredible initiative, and thank you for your leadership on this, and hope that it will continue to expand, and we can continue to foster that entrepreneurial spirit out there. I actually think some of the first Solutions Report projects, one of them is actually on the line here. I can see him, Iliak Diaz, who founded Liter of Light, and we've been working together for the past 4 or 5 years, and that was just a wonderful example which has since grown, and we hope that the Solutions Report ecosystem has been able to support the projects like his, but we need it at a much larger scale. Ours is just a positive example, much more is needed. Okay, with that, I would like to hand the floor over to Rachel. I believe that you wanted to continue on some comments. I would like to just give you the floor and ask you to continue those.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you. There were several comments that are so insightful. Thank you all. First of all, I wanted to comment on the remarks about engaging the next generation and older generations, following up again on Professor Eunice's comments. I think it is critical indeed that we continue to engage across all generations on these issues, knowing full well that some of us may have more blame than others at the state of where we are, but also so much to offer into the next evolution of where we will go as it relates to sustainable development. So I'm curious to know from more in the comments or in the chats whether and how you're working across generations. We know from our research with Gen Z, with current university students, that one of their largest concerns about their future, whether they're aiming for entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship to challenge those top 100 companies and more to do more, one of their greatest concerns is how to work across generations. And it's something that we think about and talk about quite frequently across Enactus. The other thing I wanted to add is simply how we might support those of you on this call. I'd like to see in chat or in comments for the rest of the rest of the session, I should say, how you think we might do a better job as an organization. We all know Sustainable Development Goal number 17, partnership, is critical to our shared success. I'm honored to be on this panel with many of you. And I'm curious to know from all of you how you are and where you are finding the greatest success in partnership.
Great, thank you so much, Rachel. I would like to ask John Mary to comment on one part of his journey that I'm very interested in, and I'm sure many others, which is, what did you find the most challenging? Often entrepreneurs face many hurdles, but what would you say was your biggest one? If you could just respond to that in 1 minute. Do we still have him? John? No? Okay.
I think he got knocked off, Sam. I'll watch to see if he comes back on.
No problem. Okay, so back to the Q&A, I suppose. I think what a lot of the audience would love to hear from you all is, how can they get involved in the great work that you're all doing? And not just as participants, and not just as individuals who are reflecting and amplifying the message, but really as agents within your specific projects and within your respective organizations. So with that, I wanted to just pass the mic around, the virtual mic around, for your comment on how that can happen within your respective projects and organizations. And we'll start with Myra and Wagora.
Thank you, Sam. I know that entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur is scary. So one thing that I would say is that don't be afraid. Really seek out help, seek out mentorship. One of the things that I've realized as an entrepreneur that has helped me the most is to look for people that are within your network that you might have access or something in common, or just simply ask around. Use really good tools, for example, the Solutions Hub, that can connect you with other entrepreneurs that are around the same theme, for example, or the same SDG that you're looking for, and ask them for advice, good, honest advice. For example, where do I begin? How do I connect? What can I do? How much did it cost you? How much did you spend on this? This is reasonable. Ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Most people are going to be eager to provide you with a really good, honest answer, especially coming from you. So even if it's scary, even if you find that you're all alone in this, you're not. Really search out for these connectors. And I think that that would be the first step. And the thing that I would like everyone to retain is that there is someone always eager to help, because they probably have been helped before, because no one was born knowing everything. So don't be afraid to ask.
Thank you so much, Mara. You raise a very important point. In fact, Professor Paul Bettino from Harvard Tech, I think he's actually on this call as well. He raised a very important point when we were speaking last year, which said that the entrepreneurial model is being a good researcher, and to go out and ask the right questions, and be persistent in finding the real answer that you're looking for. And I think that really reflects what you're sharing here. Okay, great. And now I'd like to hand over to Rachel, and then to Stuart. Rachel.
Sure. Reverting back to the original question, there are really three things that we know that are most sought after. And you just highlighted one: mentorship, right? Asking the right questions, finding those advisors. But the other, of course, is some fundamental training, which is something that we do. And the power of the experiential process in that training. So what is it like to apply some of the skills you know you will need to get some practical learning on the ground, hands-on learning. So training, mentorship, and of course, at some point, funding as well. And those are all three things that we look at and we seek to serve our entrepreneurs with. But the mentorship piece is perhaps the one that we see the most opportunity, because we seek mentorship, but also collaboration in that process, so that young entrepreneurs are learning from each other, as well as from those who have come before us. And so that is one of the key parts and values of our system, which is collaboration among students worldwide, so that as they're developing their solutions, they are also part of a network that can scale those solutions real time among those who are similarly compelled by the same mission.
Great, thank you so much. And Stuart.
Thank you again for hosting us. I'd say there's really three things from my perspective too that really helped us get started. One is the power of the network. Not being afraid to reach out and connect with folks, just as we're doing here. Take away some names from this symposium, this conference, of people you want to connect with further, and build that energy. If there's one thing that COVID has taught us as well, that we're all globally connected. We don't have to be in that city or in that jurisdiction to be able to reach out and connect and build those relationships. And from that, we can do what we're all trying to do, change the world. And finally, get started. You don't have to achieve a position with a company. You don't have to, have a lot of money. We got Project Shadow started with very, very little other than a corporate commitment and getting folks together in a room. And we're already changing Canada as a result, and hope to change the world. So get started where you are and you can make a difference.
Thank you very much. We actually have a very specific question for you, Myra, which is, can you talk about access to funding? The question is, what is the possibility now? And that's from Wiley McGill. Yeah, go ahead. You're muted. Sorry.
Sorry, Sam. Technical issues here. Would you be so kind to repeat your question?
Yes, the question is, can you talk about access to funding? What is the possibility now?
Of course. Access to funding, I think that it's, as I mentioned, some of the most important aspects that it's certainly being overlooked. And it can also be quite intimidating, especially for some entrepreneurs that have just begun their innovation. I mean, you have basically your savings, or if you're lucky enough, someone that could help you out, give you a starting hand. Most of the time, this doesn't really, it's not really a possibility for some of the people among, worldwide. And what I would say regarding access to funding is that there's certainly a push from the private sector, certainly grants, perhaps competitions. Look for these type of opportunities because there are. And if you're not doing active research to see what opportunities governments or public or private partnerships offer you, then you're not focusing enough on securing this first type of funding that you certainly need to take off your innovation. So I would really just encourage everyone to look out, because I know that with COVID-19 and with different sort of with the different challenges that we're looking at, there's definitely this pressing need from public-private partnerships to grant us and help us with funding. So do your research, because the money's out there and it's eager to be spent. So take advantage of that.
Thank you very much, Mara. And again, congratulations to STSM Youth for the launch of the 4th Solutions Report. Of course, a big thank you to all our panelists. What an incredible panel this has been. Began with Professor Yunus. We talked about the Enactus World Cup, the launch of the Youth Solutions Report, all in 1 hour. What an incredible achievement that is. So